My name is Mwai. I am a pastor with Christ is the Answer Ministries here in Nairobi, Kenya. And I want to take this opportunity to thank you for just tuning in or streaming in so that we can just share a few thoughts together. And in this particular episode, I actually want us to talk about men. And I've kind of entitled this whole discussion, actually is a conversation. I want to throw a few thoughts to us, just to provoke us to begin thinking on a few things. And I've entitled this, It's a Man Thing. I am a man, so I think I'm very comfortable talking about men and men issues. And I think what has provoked this and what has kind of inspired me and stirred me up maybe to talk about men in this particular episode is because I think it's been said over and over again. It's almost become cliche, I think, in our time, in our generation, that there is a crisis of manlyhood, or manhood. There seems to be a crisis somewhere. We've been talking about the boy child, is something went wrong with the boys, and the boys seem to have been left behind. The girl child seems to be doing well, but the boys are not doing too well, and on and on the discussion goes. And of course, there's a lot of legitimacy to a lot of these discussions that are going on. But lately, and probably not just here in Kenya, but I've noted, and I think many of us have probably noted, the very many interesting and rather sad incidences, surrounding men. Recently, I think we've had more than one case where men have turned on the people, people probably they were pursuing for a romantic relationship, and in broad daylight, with a weapon, just to, picked out a weapon and hacked, young ladies, a young girl to death. Or sometimes it happens behind closed doors, but just out of that anger, out of fury, you find a man turning against the very people that he loves. We've seen cases of men sometimes picking up maybe even a gun and just shooting everybody around him and eventually also killing himself. We've had and we've seen rising cases of men committing suicide. And I think it begs the question, and I think we have to pause and kind of slow down and ask the question, what really is going on? Is it just the crisis of the boy child? What is really going on in our time? What is it that is so pressing on us, especially as men, that we are unable or probably have not developed the skills to be able to handle the issues of life? Because life is real. The truth is that life is real and life happens to all of us. And we go through all manner of things. And even probably maybe as you're tuning into, and just maybe listening to this conversation, maybe as a man also, probably also at a place where you feel that there's so much pressure around you. So many things going on, there's so much demands on you. And by the way, I'm not just talking only to men, but also to ladies, and because we have mothers who have sons, we have sisters who have brothers, we have ladies who have husbands, and we have men. You have to work with men all the time. And probably even for you as ladies, probably wondering what is going on with men. And in our time also, one of the things you hear a lot of the younger ladies, talking about, especially when they're out probably maybe hoping to get a mate, somebody to marry them, is they keep asking, where are the real men? Where are the men? Which men are going to marry us? Because they seem to be so intimidated by the women's success, and they cannot seem to get their act together. And definitely, I think you and I, we have to ask ourselves, we have to have this conversation, I think, as a society, and not just as a church, but I think as a society at large, to ask ourselves what exactly is going on with men. And myself being a man, I think I have to also have the conversation with myself and ask myself, really, what does it mean to be a man? What does it mean to carry that tag and that label that I am a man? See, I grew up, of course, here in Africa, in Kenya, in Nairobi specifically, and I grew up in the home of very, very loving parents. But I realized, like many of us, of course, growing up, maybe in my time or even previously, our homes were also, in a way, a bit traditional. We had very loving parents, and I'm forever grateful for my parents, for my dad and everything. But I remember, sometimes, being told things like, oh, you need to act like a man, you need to do something, and you'll be rebuked and you're told, please be a man. You know, if maybe you displayed some bit of emotion or discomfort in a certain thing, you are told, no, be a man, you have to be a man. And, you know, as a little boy growing up, sometimes you'll be wondering, exactly what does it mean to be a man? I mean, for me to be a man is like, is there a textbook to be a man? Is it something I'm supposed to know naturally on how to be a man? And then unfortunately also, maybe for others, maybe you did not even have the opportunity to have a father figure or a male figure around you. And you have grown up just groping through life trying to discover what this manhood thing is all about. And then you, as you're growing up, you discover there's so many demands on me as a man. Or I'm expected to do this, provide leadership, you know, put food on the table. I'm supposed to hustle out there and what have you. Yet you do not even have somebody maybe who modeled for you what it means to be a man. In this discussion, I want to just throw these provoking thoughts to us. Really, what is going on with men? And what can I do? What can you do? What can we do as a society? And especially for us men, how can we help one another, hold one another, and encourage one another, pull one another up, probably help one another, you know, and to just overcome some of the issues that we probably are going through, the depression that maybe has overtaken many of us. I believe there is hope. I believe God has a purpose, you know, for creating us as men. We are created in His own image. And therefore, I want to invite you to be part, you know, just walk with me in this journey, probably in the next 2 or 3 episodes, as we try to unwrap and just understand, and especially from the Word of God, what does it mean to be a man? God bless you. You've been watching Jesse Mwai. I am a pastor with Crisis Answer Ministries, and this is CITAM ChurchOnline. And I want to encourage you to keep tuning in. We are on Facebook, we are on Twitter, we are also on YouTube, we are on Instagram, but you can also call us. I'm sure there will be a number that will appear there on your screen. You can also call us. Maybe if you need some counseling, you need prayer, you need help, you can get in touch with us. We also want to know what your thoughts are, even on this broadcast. Tell us your thoughts, share with us your experiences, and God bless you until next time.